Hello, everybody. Scott Golan here with the AEW Dark Review for the 6th of October, 2020. This show, again, too many matches, people that don't need to be on it, people that do need to be on it and pushed are seen as afterthoughts. There is good stuff if you go strictly for matches upon occasion, and I actually am happy with a couple of developments, but good gosh. They really need to cut back on size of roster. Anyway, Ricky Starks is out again to do commentary for the first half of the show. Please let him replace Excalibur. Please let Veda Scott replace Excalibur. Please let any random member of the roster replace Excalibur. I want to mute the program anytime Excalibur speaks, but I enjoy Taz. I enjoy Tony Schiavone. There are times I enjoy Jim Ross still, so I kind of grin and bear it. But my gosh, he is such a... He knows names of moves. He doesn't know how to tell stories. He doesn't know vocal tones and pacing. And a lot of people say, well, neither do you. And to that I say, I have some physical limitations that affect my voice quality from time to time more often than I would like. I have a medical reason behind that. He has no reason. He's making six figures a year. Good gosh. Please stop. Anyway, so he opened with Brandy Rhodes with Dustin defeating Kenzie Page. Paige has something to her. They did not have a very good match here. They do some back and forth. Kenzie Page gets more offense than I would expect her to get, being that she's in there with Brandy, who they have been, on and off pushing. Brandy hits a bulldog, and the drop down right hand gets a win, and hits what was supposed to be a knee strike, but it was nowhere near hitting. Post-match, Anna Jay attacks Brandy. Red Velvet comes out, saves her. I suppose that means they're aligned now. Yay, another faction stable. And other hoo-ha. 1 or 2 is good. 3 gets to be overkill. 7 is way too many, and that's what it feels like we have. Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy, and Luchasaurus with Marco Stunt defeats Ray Rosas and Eric Watts. This is Watts' debut. He is from UWN, and he actually was on the UWN show tonight. So he got a ton of offense in on this, and Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus jump in at the bell. Roses strikes do not affect Luchasaurus. Jungle Boy hits an assisted senton for near fall. Watts hits a fallaway slam, but after an inside cradle, Jungle Boy escapes, makes a hot tag. Well, as hot as it's going to be in a match that's a squash. Watching Luchasaurus face off in the center of the ring. They exchange power strikes. Luchasaurus sends Watts out with a big boot. Jungle Express sets up a combination. Watts pulls Luchasaurus out of the ring, posts him. Rosas rolls up Jungle Boy for a near fall. Watts tags in, hits a sit-out chokeslam for a near fall of his own. Rosas tags in, but Luchasaurus hits the tail whip, and Jungle Boy hits a dive. Jurassic Express hit their finisher for the win. Not a fan of this because Jurassic Express has been pushed, and they had trouble with an enhancement team. Not a fan. It doesn't... If they're going to be on Dynamite and you're moving them forward, this should not have been as competitive as it was. If you really wanted to do something with Watts, throw him in there with another enhancement guy. Throw him in there with somebody you don't care about. Heck, throw him in there with Joey Janela and let him squash him. Anyway, so Chaos Project, Serpentico, and Luther defeat Lee Johnson and Anthony Bowes. Luther has been a big deal for the Chris Jericho thing. Jericho basically says this is Luther's national main event opportunity. Serpentico, he and Serpentico will face Jake Hager and Jericho. Johnson had a good match against Ben Carter a few weeks back. Carter, I think, is still out due to COVID. Not sure on that. Hope he comes back soon and is healthy. Johnson and Bowens isolate Serpentico early. Chaos Project takes advantage. Johnson attempts a comeback, but Luther cuts him off. Chaos Project use some of their offense. Serpentico is used as a weapon, as has been done in other tag matches for this team. Johnson escapes, makes a hot tag. Bowens hits clotheslines and a float over DDT. Luther sends Johnson outside. Chaos Project is overwhelmed with the numbers advantage, and there's a Doomsday Meteora for a win. And Serpentico and Luther are undefeated as a team. I'm sure that'll end tomorrow. Anyway, Will Hobbs defeats Ryzen. Hobbs hits power moves early, and that includes suplexes. Ryzen attempts strikes. Hobbs pretty much no-souls him. He nails Ryzen with a crossbody. Hits a power slam followed by the last will and testament. And that's just a spine buster for a squash win. Starks leaves commentary, which leaves just Taz and Excalibur. This makes me sad. Eddie Kingston does what he's really good at, cuts a promo. He calls out Janela and Kiss for the main event later. Yes, Joey Janela is in the main event of Dark. Everybody write to your congressman now. Anyway, he calls out Janela and Kiss, saying they were talented, but they don't live up to their potential. And he finished by saying the Lucha Brothers are going to handle this once and for all in much more adult language than that, but this is a G-rated channel. Anyway, John Silver with Evil Uno defeats QT Marshall with Dustin Rhodes. They get a good amount of time. QT Marshall looks better than normal. Dark Order, there's too many of them for my tastes, and John Silver, they refer to him as Silver, not Four. He wrestles without the mask for some reason. Maybe he's leaving Dark Order sooner than later. Silver hits a dive early. Marshall catches him, turns it into a suplex. Uno grabs Marshall, and Silver takes advantage of this. Marshall goes into the barricades. Corner lariat for Silver for a near fall. And Marshall attempts comeback. And Silver stays on him. Marshall reaches the ropes. And Marshall hits a superplex for a comeback. Why is a mid-card guy at best, lower mid-card more accurately, doing a superplex? I do not know. Marshall hits an inverted atomic drop and a diving uppercut. Uno distracts Marshall. Silver attempts a clothesline. Marshall turns that into a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. Silver hits an enziguri and a back cracker for near fall. Uno distracts the official for what seems the third or fourth time in the match. Rhodes evens the odds. Alan Angels and Preston Vance in masks run out, interfered, and both are foiled by Marshall. The distraction was enough for Silver to hit a rolling elbow and an inverted F5 for the win. Then we move to a tag match that's kind of cool. Brian Pillman and Griff Garrison defeat Caesar Bonnie and David Ali. For some reason, people like this Caesar Bonnie guy. I see nothing in him. I know he was in NXT, but why? What's special? What's the big deal? I don't get it. Anyway, Pillman and Garrison have never won a team before until tonight. Ali and Bonnie get the heat, and Bonnie hits a spine buster after Hobbs wins with a spine buster. Why are we using the same move so close together? Turns are taken, beating down Pillman. Frequent tags between the heels. Pillman escapes, and makes the hot tag to Garrison. Garrison manages to handle both opponents with strikes. And then there's a spear. Pillman and he both hit the springboard clothesline powerbomb combination for their first AEW victory. At least they give Pillman a victory. Hopefully this means they're doing something with him. If they waste Brian Pillman Jr., I'm going to be very sad. Speaking of very sad, Big Swole against Skylar Moore. Swole is the number 2 ranked woman in the AEW women's division. This makes me sad. I liked her in the beginning, but she's lost steam with the Britt Baker thing, and she's rather directionless. Both women trade strikes. Swole fights out and hits a suplex, and then hits some running strikes. Moore sends her into the apron. Swole hits a slingshot cutter, and the Dirty Dancing for a quick win. I mean, it's good that she gets a quick win, but I don't know that there's enough creative behind her character to warrant her being number 2. Matt Sydal talks about the all-out battle royal, how he slipped on the ropes and almost died. They did a sketch on being the elite where Nakazawa put baby oil on the buckle, and that's the cause for Sydal to slip. So Matt Sydal defeats Michael Nakazawa. Talk about a guy who doesn't belong on the program. This is Kenny Omega's friend, and that's the only reason he has a job. He's like 45, 50 years old. I'm talking about Nakazawa. Oh my gosh, why are you wasting Matt Sydal, who's a really athletic guy, in a match that no one on the planet except total geeks who follow every inner storyline of AEW would care about? Like, if this came up in my suggested, and I see a guy from WWE that was in WWE a bunch of years ago, and he's facing a guy like Nakazawa, I'm going to tune out. There's nothing here. So Sydal immediately knocks Nakazawa around with kicks, goes for the shooting star press. Nakazawa oiled the ropes again. Sydal manages to knock them off. And then Nakazawa does oil to the eyes, hits an Olympic slam for a near fall. Complete comedy match. This is ridiculous. Nakazawa removes the body garments and goes for a claw. Sydal turns it into a cradle. Nakazawa locked on the claw. Sydal reversed it into a Cobra Clutch. And then that causes Nakazawa to tap out. What a waste of a match. Eddie Kingston against Mbuda. Squash to showcase Kingston. Kingston with chops and punches. Mbuda reverses a whip and hits a corner splash. Power slam for near fall. Too many power slams on the show for my liking. Kingston hits a knee to the midsection, spinning back fist for what would have been the win, but he picks his opponent up before the win, and Kingston locks on the Kimura, forces him to tap out. Kingston grabs the mic and says the Kimura was a message to Jon Moxley. He mentioned that Moxley is wrestling on Josh Barnett's Bloodsport this weekend. He wants another shot at Moxley, and he will lock on the Kimura, make him scream I quit, and that's pretty cool. Janela and Kiss got a promo backstage. Janela says he embodies no fear. No, he embodies no talent. Just as much as the Lucha Brothers won a spot in the AEW tag rankings. This is an awful promo. And Helico defeats Sean Dean, and Helico and Jack Evans have a tag title shot on Dynamite this week. That seems to have come out of nowhere. The goal here puts over Angelico's unique Mexican style, which is very unique. And Angelico takes Dean down with a kick to the hamstring, locked on an inverted figure four. Dean gets to the ropes, and Angelico applies another Interesting submission. Referee forced to break. Dean drops Angelico with a forearm and then hits a German suplex. He goes for an underhook suplex. Angelico escapes, kicks, and locked on another inverted figure four for the submission victory. Then we go to the main event. Lucha Brothers, Penta and Rey Fenix with Eddie Kingston defeat Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss. I feel so bad for Kiss. I say that week after week. There are other people. Man, put him with Seidel. Put him with somebody who's actually been somewhere and done something. Give the kid a rub. He's got something unique. They could make money with him. The only way you're going to make money with Joey Janela is if you have him go into the stands and sell popcorn. Then he'll make the company some money. But anyway, Janela and Kiss hit suicide dives before the bell. Phoenix hits a tope con hilo on everyone. Back inside, diving drop kick from Penta to the backside of Janela when his backside facing the camera. That way we know he at least has a brain. Janela fights his way out and reaches Kiss, who takes control with a springboard drop kick. Lucha hits a Cazadora, and they take the heat on Janela. And then there's kicks by Penta, and Janela escapes to Kiss for the hot tag. Kiss hits a backflip drop kick and an exploder. For the corner drop kick, he hits a 450 splash. Phoenix breaks up the pin. Several moves. Bam, bam, bam. Kiss hits a lariat on Penta. Janela tags in, but runs straight into Phoenix. And the cutter, Penta super kicks both of his opponents. And the Lucha Brothers hit their package piledriver combo for the victory. That closes the show. I'm looking forward to Dynamite tomorrow. But I almost wish if Doc's going to be this disjointed that they just discontinue the show. I know they won't. I get they have to get everyone on TV, but they have too many talent and nothing makes sense. Anyway, so it's an interesting run. And we will be back with the Impact review and some world-class stuff as well. Until next time, everybody.